Welcome to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Hope everybody's staying safe out there as we are on NFL Draft Eve. In just over 24 hours, we will know who the New York Giants will be taking at pick 4, or potentially pick 6, pick 9, pick 12, pick 16. Who knows? Rumor has it, at least according to Ralph Vacchiano, that the New York Giants are looking to trade down. Before I get started on the video, I want to let you guys know I will have hopefully another video up, if not more, and I will be live tonight for the Q&A the day before the draft. I'll also be live during the day tomorrow leading up into the draft. Then I'll be on Bad Dogs channel for day 1. We'll head on over to here for days 2 and 3. So hopefully you guys are as amped as I am for the NFL draft. The New York Giants fan base still seems to be divided on this topic of where they think the New York Giants should and potentially will go. I've run the same poll question for you guys now 2 separate times, and the results are starting to, get closer to what I think they should be. I've been outspoken and said not just that I want to tackle, I think they're going to tackle. I've said that for months. I could be wrong. They could definitely go with Simmons. Simmons had a very impressive combine. He fits the philosophy of Joe Judge, and I will not be shocked at all if the Giants take him if they're forced to stick at 4. But according to Vacchiano, they're trying everything they can to move down in this year's draft. But I just want to pull up a quick poll. This was conducted about 2 weeks ago. I asked you guys not who you want, who you think the Giants will take at number 4. And 2 weeks ago, 64% of you guys said Isaiah Simmons. And if you combine the offensive tackles, about 36% of you thought that they'd go offensive tackle. You thought that Wirfs was the most likely, but Simmons was still overwhelmingly the favorite in your guys' opinion. I ran that same poll today. Now, it was a little different because I gave you guys the option of trading out of the top 11 based on this article that Vacchiano thinks it's at least possible that the Giants could be open to trading down with the Bucs, the Falcons, and a couple of other teams. This was the results today. Now, Simmons is still in the lead, which I'm not surprised because I think if I polled you guys, 75 to 80% of you guys would say that you want Simmons. So I'm not surprised that he's still in the lead. But it has certainly shrank. 40% as opposed to 64% in the matter of about, I think, 10 days. So you guys definitely think it's a closer race. If you combine the tackles, if you take away the trade option, it is 54% to 40% that the people that were polled in this, at least so far, almost 750 votes when I pulled up the picture, favor the tackle, but Simmons still the individual favorite, according to Giants Nation. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out on draft night. Now, what I want to do is jump into the quotes by Ralph Vacchiano of SNY. Got these off of the website. Initially, I saw it on Giants Wire, talking about the fact that the New York Giants are desperate to trade down. They're trying to do everything they can to move out of that 4 pick. The simple reason, according to Vacchiano, and it only makes sense, the Giants feel they could get said tackle at 8 or 9, that they would have gotten at 4. But let's jump into some of the quotes on SNY. According to multiple NFL sources, the Giants' preference is to trade down in the first round of the NFL draft, and they have had preliminary conversations with teams in the hopes of setting up the parameters of a deal by Thursday night. It's still unclear if they'll be able to find a deal, but one NFL source described them as extremely motivated to move. And I'm not really surprised by this. I think they should be extremely motivated to move for the simple reason, and he's going to explain it, and I've said it for months, that they could get that same player at 9 more than likely that they could get at 4. Now, if you're head over heels in love with one of the tackles and you're not sure they're going to be there at 9, Gettleman's probably going to take him. But if you're torn between Thomas, Wirfs, and Wills, it only makes sense to drop down to 9 if you can. 12 might be too far because if you look at the map, you got the Cardinals at 8, you got the Jets who could take one at 11, and you got the Browns at 10. So there's a chance 3 tackles could be off the board, and then you may be forced to take a tackle you may not love, or you may have to take a wide receiver or a defensive player. If they want to take a tackle, I think 5, 6, or 9 is the best option. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out on draft night, though, because Vacchiano at least left open the possibility of the Giants being open to trading down even further than that, and there are definitely some teams looking to either move up or move down in the middle of this draft. One reason for that, it appears the Giants are setting their sights on an offensive tackle in the first round, according to multiple league sources. And while it's not known exactly how they've graded the Big Four, Wirfs, Wills, Thomas, and Louisville's Mekhi Becton, scouts and executives generally seem to rate them very closely. And almost everyone believes they are worthy of being picked in the top 15. And I agree with that. I don't think any of them gets out of the top 15, even with the drug test with Becton. He's the only one I could see dropping out. So the Giants know they could trade down several spots and still end up with one of those tackles. Though anything could happen, it seems a safe bet that they'll definitely get one if they stay in the top 10. And that's 100% fact. They will, in my opinion, if they go to 9, they're getting the second tackle off the board. So if Wirfs and Wills are close, which I think they are, the Giants have been enamored with Wirfs this entire process, according to Vacchiano, according to Kim Jones, and we've seen late traction on Wills out of Alabama. They're guaranteed one of them, in my opinion, at number 9. Now, like I said, I say all the time, you could read these quotes however you want it to fit your agenda. Isaiah Simmons people find ways to fit the quotes to their agenda. Offensive tackle people find ways to fit the quotes to their agenda. That's just fact. I try to be unbiased. I think there's more evidence that they're going tackle than they're not. Next quote we're going to pull up. If they don't mind dropping further, the Tampa Bay Bucks at 14, Broncos at 15, and Falcons at 16 all appear to have some interest in trading up in the draft, according to sources. Dropping that far would be a risk for the Giants, since it likely would put them in the second tier of tackles like Austin Jackson, Josh Jones, Ezra Cleveland, unless they're okay with drafting a player at another position. The other position there, you're looking at a linebacker, maybe Caleb Chason, C.J. Henderson, or you're taking a second tier tackle like he said. Josh Jones would probably be the best of the bunch. The only way you trade down there, you got to get an arm and a leg. If you're trading to 16 with the Falcons, which I think is the most likely of those three said teams, you better be getting a future first, this year's first, a second, and a future second at a bare minimum, because you're not getting one of the top tackles. You're not getting an elite defensive playmaker. You're giving up a lot from dropping from 4 to 16. I do not think this is the best course of action. Jaguars, to me, are the best fit. If not them, the Chargers, or the Giants will stay at 4. And if they stay at 4, well, Simmons is definitely still a possibility. How will it play out on draft night? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I can just tell you how I felt from the start, how I still feel. I felt that offensive tackle was the biggest need. I felt that Dave Gettleman would try to address that position, being that he drafted a quarterback and a running back at the top of the last 2 drafts, and the offensive line has still been subpar. It's important to protect your quarterback. That is why I've expressed I would go with the tackle, and I would look to trade down at all costs, and why I think the Giants will go with one. But Simmons is definitely a very unique playmaker, no doubt about it. He'd bring versatility, the golden word for Joe Judge. We're going to have to wait and see on draft night. Your guess is as good as mine. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.